skip to this part. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I just want to check in with CPT, make sure they can hear us.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you sound great. And Johnny has a graphic right over his eyebrow, so I'm going to move it. Take that out. There you go. You're fine.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, there you go. Hey, welcome, everybody. Hi, chat room. Good to see you. Hey, what's going on? Oh, hello.
Where are you, Hal?
I'm back at my dad's house. Yeah, we had family Thanksgiving, and then we're having a toast and remembrance tonight. And then I'm going to see Bela Fleck, his friend, and mine at the Taft. He messaged us last night, and he's like, if you'd like, we have we're doing a show, and if you want to come down, I was like, of course. So it's going to be me and my stepmom Carol and my mother and Camden and I, and we're all going to go see the show tonight, which will be very nice. It's like Christmas, bunch of banjo Christmas music. It's very Kentucky. The whole thing is very Kentucky.
Is it the Flecktones? Is Michael Victor Wooten be there?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting close. Chicago, you can hear us okay, though? And everything's good with you on your end?
Yes, I can hear you guys, as long as you can still hear me.
Yep. All goodness. And hold on. And then I believe, where is this little picture? Yeah, there it is. Turn on the chat. There it is. I can show it on the live stream. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Hello.
And they said the curtains gave it away.
Yes. Yeah, you can. This is the location where I told everybody about COVID before it showed up. So go way back.
Yeah, and I'm streaming after the show today. Then after I stream, I'm going to shovel a lot of fucking snow.
Wow. There you go. Let's see. Why is this jump in? Oh, okay. Maybe it's just the size of the window. Maybe that's it. I'm gonna give myself a little more room to play on this. Please tell me, Johnny Million, you know about the 3 Austrian nuns.
No, is this a joke?
No. I thought it was a joke at first because it sounds like it.
Do they walk into a bar?
No, they break into a convent. It's I'll tell you about it. It's the happy ending. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm glad I don't know about it then.
Chat room, don't spill the beans if you guys know anything about it.
Tell me. It does sound like
don't tell Johnny. I prefer him to suffer in ignorance around special stories like this, especially 3 Austrian nuns and a donkey. That's a totally different show. And mind your business. Mind your P's and Q's, people. By the way, hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much. Hi there. It sounds like a Penthouse Forum letter. I never thought it would happen to me. I always joke that, if you'll recall, Johnny Million, that I always believed that my Penthouse letters would start with, I always knew it would happen to me.
I don't remember that, but that's pretty good.
That was one of my jokes that I believe you went, that's funny. That used to be your standard
response. That sounds like something I'd say.
Your standard response was not to laugh, but to simply go, that's funny.
That's funny.
How was your dad's memorial? Well, we have the toast and remembrances tonight. That's just family. The memorial is going to be next Friday, so I will be red-eyeing back in for that over here. And then we got to wait for the ground to thaw for the actual funeral, so it'll be closer to the beginning of March. Until then, his ashes will stay here. And then
I thought you were going to say he's still in the bedroom.
Yeah. Well, in a manner of speaking. No, we haven't gotten them back yet. But Chicago, you good? Are we ready to go? How far away are we? I don't hear them. Something's wonky.
I don't hear them anymore.
I don't hear them either. They're there.
Oh, his computer froze. He's got to reboot.
Okay. I thought it was me. All right. It's not, though. That's good. Okay. I'm very excited to tell you the happy ending of the story because
I know. Let's just skip right to the happy ending.
nope, not. There we go. Are we starting? Chicago? Yeah. I thought I heard a noise, but that might have just been you.
That was me.
How do we know that Chicago is linked up again?
Phenomena.
Sorry. Okay. Let's see.
I had a very late show last night. I am whooped.
Oh, I understand. Well, I had to get up and take Summer to the airport this morning. At I think we left at 5:15 a.m.
Nice.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Chicago. We'll wait for Chicago to come back up.
Yeah.
And then we'll get started because I feel like I will leave them out of this whole thing, but I will say that there are a couple of things we're going to address right away, which is a little bit of like this, like everybody pearl clutching about Steve Witkoff apparently, trying to sell the peace deal between, like, telling the Russians, like, if you're going to talk to Trump, talk about what kind of business you can do with him and stuff, because that'll help him. It'll sell him on the deal. Like who doesn't know that? Exactly.
Yeah, right.
The Trump whisperer for that nonsense.
Yeah. Well, he likes money.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Trying to grab one thing. Yeah. And then Crash Patel is is now in the hot seat. Yeah. Is now in the Hegseth hot seat. Hegseth is literally, well, we'll talk about that. I want to save it for the air. Chicago's not there. I hope they're calling back. They're gone. Dun, dun, dun.
That could be good.
Tell everybody, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, patreon.com/HouseSparks, etc., etc. I haven't done that in a long time, and it feels refreshing, quite frankly. Mike, level a little low on me. Okay. I will bring mine up a touch. I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I get loud at some point during the show. But man,
It might get loud.
It's been known to happen. It has. Let's go to sound settings. Don't want to play sound settings. And then input. Oh, I see. That's why, because the input's like, it was only at 50. It was at half mast.
What the?
Hey, look, happened to anybody. We are in our 50s.
But that was in honor of Mr. Sparks.
Yes, at half mast, right? The audio was at half mast, right? All right, I gotta set this on show reader. There we go. I do have some good news right out of the gate, though, for everybody. CPT is playing Hal's intro, but he's not here. No, because they're not connected to us, so I don't see them at all. So maybe they're playing us on YouTube because he can't connect. Maybe that might be it. Well, let's keep talking. Let's get started. Anyways, I think that's the wise thing. Devin's having tech issues. Okay, you're right. So they'll grab us from YouTube and we'll just start talking because there's plenty to talk about. And I will just hold the brakes as we normally do and wish us luck out of the gate. I am back in Kentucky, where officially everyone at the gym near my parents' house, and when I say near, I mean 30 miles away. Every person that works there now knows I'm the dad from Lab Rats, and I've literally been there at different times of the day, so much so that they are like, I've gotten every shift now. I've covered every shift.
Everyone knows the Mr. Davenport works out there.
Yeah. So, and I feel bad because, like, I go back tomorrow and I won't be back until the holidays or whatever. So, they'll go, I'm not sure he was here, like everybody. But welcome to the show, everybody. Those that are just joining us in Chicago on the radio, etc. We'll jump straight in. Let me start with some things I'm thankful for.
Fill me in, Hal.
I'm thankful for Johnny Million, who is a dear and beloved friend, and we were singing your good graces here at the house over the last couple of days. I'm thankful for the time I had with my dad. I'm thankful for the beauty of all of his friends gathering and coming by here for effectively his living wake. And look, Chicago just popped in there. I'm thankful that Chicago jumped back in and joined us here. I'm going to put them in hide camera and just there
Devin
we go,
thinks
Chicago.
their computer finally crapped out. He's
It
using he's using a different one.
I understand. Well, I believe that that's true. I also think that I'm thankful for the coal firing computers that they use at WCPT. I'm thankful for that they got brand new pedals on the contraption that runs the antenna. Right. And that is one.
Okay, we're on the air. We're on the air. We're on the air. Time to start MFing.
You know me. I'm one of those people where I was like, always you just behave like you're on the air all the time. It's a great way. You know what I mean? It's like I've magically turned.
That's what he says when we're in bed together too.
That's right. Yes, right. Well, yeah, because radio is theater of the mind. Anyways, you can do a lot with sound effects.
Aruga.
Okay, so let me start off with some good news because I've had a rough month, and I feel like I have the right to just grab any good news that comes my way, even if it's a touch of Schadenfreude.
Bring it.
Yeah. This is from an article on Politico, but it's reflected in a lot of other places. It seems to be an exemplary conversation that is happening everywhere. And by the way, one that yours truly pointed out as an inevitability upon Trump's reelection and his swearing in. And the article is entitled, How Trump's Base Could Break. And the subtitle is, A significant portion of 2024 Trump voters, more than a third, do not consider themselves to be MAGA Republicans, according to the Politico poll. That is very significant. A third of them are no longer calling themselves MAGA.
Okay, so but considering that they voted for Trump, do they understand the question?
Right. Yeah. Right. That is true. These are kind of the sort of people that get their ties caught in paper shredders,
right.
Or a flushing toilet, in an old cartoon. Yeah. Okay. So for starters, a significant portion of 2024 Trump voters, more than a third, do not consider themselves to be MAGA Republicans, and are not only are they less loyal to Trump than self-identified MAGA Republicans, the poll suggests that some of them have already begun to turn on him. Non-MAGA Trump voters are much more likely to blame Trump, and this shouldn't surprise anyone, blame Trump for the state of the economy, says he has too much power, and be pessimistic about the future. More than a half of Trump's voters last year, 55%, described themselves as MAGA, but a critical 38% do not. According to the survey, which comprised 2,098 adults, U.S. adults online, and it was conducted November 14 to 17, so it's very recent, with a margin of sampling error of plus or minus 2 percentage points. This is a tight one. Oh, look at the kitty. And it's here where the fissures start to emerge, because this is is that you or the cat making that noise? I'm never sure.
Yeah, I can't tell yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Damon.
Oh, it's okay.
He didn't want all that. He wanted to say hi, but he didn't want all that.
He did not want that much love. Yeah, he was like, I did not sign up for this.
Yeah.
So this is, and this is what I love about this article. It's here. I'm quoting again from the article. It's here where the fissures start to emerge. 38% are now counting themselves as non-MAGA Republicans. And it was like, I want to say 80% were considering themselves MAGA and Republican are synonymous, in previous polls. Now a full-on third of them have dropped out and are blaming him for a lot of stuff. Among those self-described MAGA voters, 47% say the current economy still belongs fully to Biden. But shockingly, that's under half.
Wow.
Right? Over half of MAGA hardcore Republicans, like straight up America firsty types, don't blame Biden for the current state of the economy.
And that's got to be because Trump is so vocal and doesn't understand that all the things that he's touting,
Yes.
most people can tell are not good, and that he just like says the same lie over and over.
Right. And
like
he
even
gets
his
mad
voters
at
are
you.
onto it.
He gets mad at you if you're one of, I would argue, more angry at you if you're a supporter of his who is being insufficiently loyal.
Oh yeah.
And
leader.
Oh my Lord. So okay. 47% say the current economy still belongs fully to Biden. Okay, those 47% are nuts. But again, that's not 47% of Trump voters. That's 47% of self-identifying MAGA Trump voters, which is another. This would be the third. This would be the 32 to 36% of Trump's base of Republicans that don't go anywhere. This group of people that just are ride or die Trumpies, right?
Yeah.
But so that 47% is, again, less than half of MAGA identifying Republicans. Then compared to just 26% of the non-MAGA Trump voters. So a quarter, just a little over a quarter, give or take, of regular run-of-the-mill Republicans still blame Biden for the current economy. 75% do not. 75% of those folks are very aware that this is Trump's economy and it's sticking to him like glue. We got to take a break. There's more of these morsels out there, and I think what we've got to start pushing back on is this illusion of inevitability, strength, and perseverance from MAGA voters, that they're always going to rally, that they're always going to back him. I hear that refrain all the time, and it just isn't true. We'll be back right after this.
All right, Devin is working on a fix during the break.
I love that idea. It seems fixed on our end. We are, listenable just as long as we can hear him. And he can just message you when we're back, and we'll just go, "Hey, we're back." All right. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. And the new word, affordability.
He should never, ever say that word.
No, it's a bad idea, dude. And I have a couple of theories, one of which is that we are about a week away from Trump musing that the word groceries has the word gross in it and doesn't understand why people associate it with food. Like I don't even know why people are worried about groceries. That gross, I mean, that's the groceries of like, because it's icky. Like, you just wait. It's an old-fashioned word. Yeah, groceries right up there with consumption. Okay. And then when we're coming back, I want to talk about affordability. And also the two-tone MAGA lie that's happening everywhere around me in this area of the country. So, by the way, hit the like, share the show if you would. That helps spread us out in the algorithm. It's one of the best things you can do to help the show is just a thumbs up right away. And
I just did it.
Aw, that's sweet. Oh, look, they're back in. Look, they're also in here. Look at that. Camera move there. There's audio only for them. So they're on 2 channels. So we're gonna get echoes or something. I see them, but I don't hear them yet. But let's assume we're back. I have to assume we're back. Yeah. Because let's talk about the word affordability, Johnny Million. Now, I have to say that I think there are inside and outside your periphery kind of affordability things. The kind of affordability conversation you have, say, about a house is different than steak or pot roast for dinner or rice and beans, right? There's the short-term affordability and there's the long-term affordability. And usually what happens in most situations, especially in previous even Republican administrations, is that Democrats have come in, clean up the mess from the last Republican in terms of the economy. And so one of those things, either the long-term or the short-term, is relatively affordable, either compared to where it was or, where it's going. Like it's trending towards affordability, right?
Sure.
Seldom do you run into a situation where both suck, where both, where affordability is out of reach in the short term with, groceries and consumer goods and clothing and stuff like that, and long term, house, car, piece of property to build a house and park a car on, right?
No.
Retirement, the ability to put money away or afford stocks at a level that would give you a return more than, a savings account or whatever makes you feel comfortable. But usually one of those is firing on all cylinders and compensating. Right now, both are fairly terrible. And they are both directly terrible because of Trump's actions, very clearly because of stuff he has done. Consumer goods and groceries, foodstuffs, both his perfect storm of his nonsensical tariff flail about that he's been doing off and on, creating all this kind of chaos and volatility, mixed with his immigration stance, which is shutting down farms and food processing plants, driving up the cost of things, turning, like chasing everybody through the fields, and then one day and then saying, actually, we're just going to let the farmers operate on an honor system the next. Infuriating.
Evidently, CPT is still in commercials. Oh, now it's live. Never mind. Hi. No.
And I was saying so much interesting stuff, Johnny Million, and you had lured me into a false sense of security. But I did swear a lot, so it's good that we weren't on the air. Anyways, now that we're on the air, I want to talk about affordability, both in the near term and the long term. Again, like I was saying when I thought I was on the air, usually one of those is okay, and the other one is what is the political crisis that any particular administration has to deal with. And under Trump, both of them are terrible, and both of them are terrible because of actions he has directly taken. Right. Both in his kind of flailing, nonsensical, never-ending stupidity about how the economy works, or that he thinks a trade deficit with a country like China, which more equates to a relationship a wholesaler and a retailer have, is the same as them not buying our stuff. Our stuff that they would buy is already there. It hasn't left. Why? It's in the factory. The American company makes something, has it assembled or printed or, vacuum sealed or die cast or whatever, or milled and fabricated. In China, and then they ship it over here or directly to the consumer in the other countries, but it's the product created by America. So the idea that we have a trade deficit with them because they're not buying our stuff, they are buying our stuff in one way. They are stealing it by making exact crap copy of it and selling that to their people and to the Middle East and anybody who's sanctioned, and the one need look no further than the Apple phone. You can go to the Apple store, which sounds a lot like Apple, if you pronounce it in Chinese, in English with a Chinese accent, and they literally have Apple stores that sell iPhones with an eye icon next to it, and it's the same thing. It's the same glass. It's the same chip. It's just different software and all that stuff. Anyways, so the idea that he just fundamentally does not understand we have a retail and wholesale relationship with China mostly, and that is changing. And as we increasingly move stuff out of China to places like Vietnam or the Czech Republic or other places where these manufacturing jobs are moving to, we will have a retail wholesale relationship with them. And so our trade with them will not be the same as are they buying our goods and we're buying their goods, because a big portion of it is stuff that's made there, shipped here, finalized. Maybe they slap a sticker on it for, that this is the final product, and then they sell it to the rest of the world or the American public. And so just his tapioca-brained idiocy that he just can't comprehend that, mixed with this idea that we are in a monetary inflation, standard kind of Volckerist idea that we have, the way you solve it is too much. Prices are high because there's too much money in circulation, and people want to get all the money they can for stuff. And since there's so much in circulation, there's a lot of competition in dollars for fewer things. And so you can drive the price up. And so that's, that's standard kind of Reagan-esque era, Volckerist, look at the, like how much money's in circulation, which we did not experience. We are not experiencing. It is not the problem. It has never been the problem. We just came out of COVID. It infuriates me, as you guys know, that these idiots want to pretend that COVID never happened. And they think that the economic situation that we are in post-COVID had anything to do with the policies of people trying to solve the problem we were in because of COVID. It's the same thing with 2008, that, when they tell you that more people went on food stamps under Obama than any other president in the first year because of the 2008 crash, something he was not a part of, and someone that he stopped a genuine depression and kept us from falling deeper into a quagmire. And they don't count all the people that over the years came off those food stamps, just the people that went on in the short term. More people did go on. More people, I guess, in theory, came off as well because of that. But Trump's, general idea is that they want to, he was president when COVID happened. They want to memory hole it and pretend it didn't happen. So this is the perfect recipe for being terrible at both of the extremes of a problem, near term, long term. Both, like his idiocy is perfectly matched to take all the wins that Biden had chalked up post COVID in steadying the boat after the storm and getting us back onto clear waters, and then safely doing it instead of trying to like jerk a cruise ship like a speedboat and wrecking it the other way. Because again, Trump wants to drop the interest rate to like 2%, which again would do exactly what he's talking about, which is flood money into the market, because everybody would borrow at 2%. There'd be so much money in circulation that you would have monetary inflation. He's a big dum-dum. So affordability is the word, and he's terrible at all forms of it. And in this Politico issue, article rather, says the issue that Trump has said delivered the election, affordability, and the one his own White House Deputy Chief of Staff James Blair said he will be very focused on. Non-MAGA Republicans are more concerned by the cost of living than their MAGA counterparts, 59 to 48%. Although, considering where maggots have stuck with Trump through all this stuff, the idea that 48% of them are concerned by the cost of living is movement. It's significant. It's over 12% higher than the margin that got him in there from the maggots, not from just the run-of-the-mill Republicans. And again, this is why it's statistically significant, because these people again, like I've said before, we don't need them to see the light. We just need them to see the lie. And maggots are not going to vote for a Democrat. They're just going to go home. Republicans, on the other hand, like these run-of-the-mill, are the people who vacillate as, air quotes, independents, who voted for Obama and then voted for Trump and then voted for Biden, and they kind of vacillate back and forth because they're fickle and silly. But 59% of them are concerned about the cost of living specifically right now in this poll from, just before Thanksgiving. Among the other findings centering on the economy, the non-MAGA cohort is less likely to feel Trump has taken the chance he had to change the things in the economy. So that's the other side of it. Okay, 65% of MAGA compared to 46% of non-MAGA. So 46% of the non-MAGAs, they think Trump is seizing the opportunity and he's doing too much. He's overdoing it. The maggots, 65% of maggots think he hasn't done his thing yet. They're waiting for the magic sprinkle sauce.
You wait.
Wait. He's so close. All right. We got to take another break again. We'll be back right after this. It's House Sparks Radio program, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, etc., etc. I'm going to leave Johnny on screen for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wait. What do you think he's doing? I think he's pooping. Let me look at the chat here.
Let's test this. Can anyone hear me?
Oh, yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes. Holy crap. All right.
What the heck happened? Is it a different computer?
Yeah, I had to use a different computer. I had to call our engineer, and we had to change a couple settings. And I'm like, let's wait till there's a commercial break before I start barging. Like, can you guys hear us? But yeah, the old computer we're using, he's like, I'm just gonna pronounce that dead. I'm like, probably best, as we tried everything.
Yay. So now
Good,
it's
everything
dead.
works.
So what happened to that?
So basically, you guys were on it. I remember I told you it froze. I couldn't get anything to work. I was trying to refresh the page. I was trying to, get the, click the Microsoft tab to get to restart. Nothing was happening. I'm like, all right, we go down there and press the button. Press the button, turned off. Press the button, turn back on. Oh, to turn it back on, nothing was happening. I unplugged it, plugged it back in. So I don't know what happened, but the things, they're like, we got new computers for it. We just haven't set them up yet. I'm like, oh, well, now's the time to actually do it.
Oh, my God.
But it looks like you guys can hear us
Set
again.
them up.
Yep, we hear you just fine. Excellent.
Awesome.
I wanted to show you this T-shirt that I got at Rabbit Hash. London, Paris, Louisville, Harlan, Rabbit Hash. Okay. These are, it looks like, like big cities to nobody, right? Whatever. London and Paris are also towns in Kentucky.
Of course they are.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, my dad had this shirt and I went and got one that would fit me at the place, whatever. I also got myself a hat for the jam.
Let me see it. Look at that jam hat.
Guys.
Ricky Sambora would be proud.
Yeah, exactly. When I do Wanted Dead or Alive or a Wasp song, I can wear this one.
Yeah.
It was just sitting there and nobody had bought it. And I was like, it's calling my name.
Come on now.
Summer kind of insisted, actually, because it fit.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, he said 60 seconds. I was like waiting for like 6 seconds.
I don't know what my sleepiness will bring to my stream after this. We'll see what happens.
Magic.
It'll bring the magic.
Yeah, exhaustion is always what I've used instead of being drunk. Like, hey, you want to see what?
Very similar, yeah.
You want to see what?
Back. Let's see if you hear the music.
Yeah. Let's hear.
This is Tom Hartman, and you're listening to the Hal Sparks Radio.
We hear it.
Woo! Wide on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT.
All right. We're firing on all cylinders right now. Woo, I don't want to jinx it by saying anything. I even see the chat room, although I'll move you guys out of the way for a moment if you don't mind. So I want to continue with the polling because this is crucial we've got to get rid of this myth. And I hear this everywhere when I'm talking to people. They seem overwhelmed and sort of just kind of demoralized about like, geez, they're doing everything they want to do. They're getting away with everything. Yeah. It's, he can do anything he wants and blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, he can't and no, he isn't.
At moments, it feels that way when you see the blurbs pop up of something awful happening.
Yes. If all you see are the blurbs, I totally get it. But if you dive down into any of this stuff, you understand why there's these like screaming, swearing matches going on in the White House about redistricting and forcing it, even if they can't do it through the courts have stopped them with this because
how are we going to cheat?
Yeah, right. They know they won't be able to win. Now, is there a worry that, Elon Musk might kick in and try to help him again and all that kind of stuff? Yes, but it's much more manageable worry than it was, I think in 2024, where it was just like, it's that horse has left the barn, right? So this is, I'm enjoying this part too. Okay, so the non-MAGA cohort, like I said, is less likely to feel that Trump has taken his chance on the economy. So, maggots think he hasn't taken his shot yet. He's going to bring out the secret sauce. He just hasn't had a chance to do it yet. And the Republicans who are not MAGA or not identifying as MAGA think that's all he's been doing is just slathering secret sauce on everything, and none of it works. It's just bear snot, and he's like trying to pass it off as Miracle Whip. And so all of them are like that fight.
There's that.
Remember how I talk about the two trains leaving the station on the track. One of the things is run-of-the-mill constitutional Republicans who believe in America, but just have a different view of how to run things than Democrats do. And, and there's a lot more overlap than they like to say, and they have to demonize each other during election cycles, but they get along most of the rest of the time because they know that, there are only a few solutions if you're falling towards a river. You can either try to land feet first, you can try to dive, but belly flopping is out and back flopping is out. So you can't, there are only so many solutions. You can only argue so many options, right? And so those folks those folks think Trump has been just running amok, most like we do. They feel that way like Democrats do. They're like, that's all he's doing. He's just doing anything he wants, and nobody's reining him in, right? But the reality is he's being reined in by certainly by the courts in some cases, certainly by Republicans who don't buy into this nonsense in a couple of areas, but also by gravity, by reality. I don't care how much like French fry grease he pours into this gas tank. It's not a biodiesel engine. No matter how much he wants it to run on French fry smell, it doesn't. It won't. It never will. And he doesn't, like in certain areas, he grasps that and just is lying because he's making his own money with Don Jr. behind closed doors, which by the way, and I'm not advocating this. I want to be clear. I want to be abundantly clear. This is a concern that I have. Don Jr. is going to get himself killed sometime in the next 5 to 10 years. The people they are messing with, the people they are in these crypto schemes with, and this money laundering nonsense that they are doing, that they have full run of this, he won't get Secret Service protection for the rest of his life. And even if the next Democratic president is generous about this stuff, he's still going to be traveling in circles that are really dangerous. I mean, part of this, like Trump pardoning this, the former president of Honduras, I believe it was, that's because of these crypto farms and this Prospera town that Peter Thiel and all these guys want to go live in, which is this little like country within a country where you can make up your own tax laws that you basically, it's like a timeshare in the country.
Prospera town. Yeah,
it's Prosperas or whatever. It's just ridiculous. But the idea, but for real, you start messing around with those people shuffling money around, that's like, hanging with Russian oligarchs. Eventually, you're going to be the one closest to the banister. It's going to be gnarly. And the problem is, like, after Trump is no longer president, and that day is swiftly approaching. Every property he has becomes a target, and so does all of his kids. And like, the only ones anyone is going to care about protecting will be Jared and Ivanka. Everybody else, and nobody's going to care about Tiffany, bless her heart. Like, luckily, she'll probably avoid this. But everybody else is going to walk around with a target on their back the rest of their lives because of this.
Yeah.
And he's doing this to himself. So, okay, next term on this poll, which was, and again, I'm reading from this Politico article, but there's one on Bloomberg like this. Axios was talking about this like 2 days ago. MAGA Republicans feel their personal financial situation has improved over the past 5 years.
Really?
MAGA Republicans feel their personal financial situation has improved over the past 5 years. Not, from when Trump was president and then now that he's president. Over the last 5 years. 4 of which were taken up by Biden being president. 52% to 24%, whereas non-MAGA GOPers are virtually tied, 37 to 36. They think that they have improved over the last 5 years. A third of them don't. In a fascinating divide, 73% of MAGA Republicans expect their personal financial situation to improve over the next 5 years, compared with 57% of non-MAGA Republicans. So almost 25%, more in the maggots think they're going to make a bunch of money. Now, there's a myriad of reasons why these folks would believe this nonsense. And again, the self-identifying maggots are a subset of a subset of a subset of a subset. I want people to keep that in mind when you're talking to people online. You're think of all the people that can talk, all the people in the United States that can talk about the issues, all the people that care enough to go online and have an account, and then all the people that want to talk politics online. And you start realizing you're talking to the tip of the pencil, not the rest of it. And so there's a very narrow group of people you're interacting with whenever you're discussing these things. And so this group, this 52% of maggots who think this is gonna be awesome, is half of a third of this this leftover group, right? Or sorry, half to a third of this leftover group, which is whatever 40% of all Republicans, that everybody who voted for Trump. Now, here's the in that mix, these people, there's people who think that stock market's going to keep going up and they've got investments in the stock market. Some people who there's preppers who have invested in gold and Bitcoin and think it's going to bloom because it's going to the moon. So that's why they think that. If you ask them, even if they're broke right now, even if they put all their money in Bitcoin and it took a giant crap last week, they're still convinced it's going to go to 250,000. And so they're just going to ride or die Bitcoin or gold or whatever, because that's when the society falls, they're going to spend Ayn Rand dollars on each other. Do you ever read Atlas Shrugged, Johnny Million?
I never did.
Okay. I read it on assignment from a girlfriend. Yeah. And I thought because she was trying to get me to be a little more selfish because I'm terrible at it. And and she's probably right. You know what I mean? You need some overcorrecting to get normal, when
Sure.
you default this direction. Oh, thank you. Oh, Da Vinci, thank you so much. Appreciate you. But there, but it turns out it was just for the violent sex, I think, really, ultimately.
Oh, nice.
Really, yeah. There's a lot of that in there. So every Republican it's like 50 Shades of Grey if it was like dragged out over 5 seasons. You know what I mean? That's right. A lot of repetitive parts. But in Atlas Shrugged, the idea is that all the great people, all the thinkers and the designers and the elites and the intelligentsia and everybody get fed up with the paupers telling them what to do, and so they move into this like hidden community in the mountains of Colorado, where the top of one of these mountains is actually just a projection. It's not really a mountain. And it's just a fake, like if you fly by, it looks like a mountain, but it's actually just lights creating this fake ring. And in it is this, they've topped off this mountain. They've cut the top off of it. And it's like a city. It's like Wakanda, basically. It's like White Conda.
Yeah. White Conda.
Yeah, it's White Conda. Yeah. But they all live there. And then everything costs a gold coin. So if somebody builds you a house, it's a gold coin. If somebody mows your lawn, it's a gold coin. But the idea is
it's the John Wick monetary policy.
It's totally where it came from. That's where it came from. All of that came from Ayn Rand. Absolutely. That's totally where they lifted it from. Guaranteed. So, but you have to understand that some of the maggots think it's going to be magic because Trump knows what he's doing. They're the dumber ones. Then there's the ones that are scheming, conniving, and kind of prepperish, where they think it's going to get better because he's going to magically do things like make the Iraqi dinar worth a lot of money. Because like the QAnon folks at one point, I don't know if you know this, but they were investing in the Iraqi dinar because they were told by Q that it was going to go through the roof. Yeah. So they bought a bunch of, I'm not kidding. They're all buying and holding Iraqi dinar, which is just so, that's so gorgeous. Anyways, so there's that group, which are spun, stupid, crazy people. They're just literally bananas. These are, well, figuratively, I suppose. Yeah. They're not literally.
Not literal bananas. Yeah, these are bananas.
Their brains are literally tapioca. I would, if you crack their head open, I would say it looks like congealed yellow goo. But that said, and then there's, leftover Republicans who think, oh, businessman in charge will do better than commie in charge or something like that. Really low res stuff. But a bunch of them are waking up to that, including the maggoty crowd. So we got to take another break, but I know this. Similarly, this is the interesting part. MAGA feels better off than the average American. If you ask them, are you better off than the average American? 49% will say yes. 17% will say no. Well, let me tell you something. That 17% is a big number. That's a lot of people that say they're not as well off as the average American, which they think is full of Democrats, big cities full of people, largely brown, that's who they're talking about. Whereas non-MAGA is torn, 30 to 29%, almost a wash. This is such great news for Democrats for the midterms and terrifying news for Republicans that is not going away.
Brilliant.
There's nothing that's going to change this because it's a matter of gravity, not opinion. It's a matter of reality, not mythology. So, okay. And then when we come back, I have an anecdotal Kentucky story to tell you about, my kind of like being out in the wilderness, as you do. All right. We'll be back. Yeah, so it's like they think their $2,000 payday is coming. Well, guess what? Democrats are going to get it too.
You would think. All right, I got to mute. I'll be right back.
All right, please do. Hold on. I'll remove you from the screen just for our own edification safety. Here we go. Whoop. Hi. Here our chat room, and then I can bring in the chat by saying hi to you guys. Be lovely. Is the 2,000 tariff thing a reality? No, it is not. Like that amount of there's not that much money coming in from the tariffs, and they would have to admit to write those checks. They have to go through Congress, and to do those checks, they would have to clarify how much money is actually being made from the tariffs, and they can't because
30 seconds.
Crap. So, yeah. Johnny Million should be back in a moment, I suppose. I weep for the future. And we're almost back. I get nervous when I don't hear them.
I come back.
There we go. Thank you.
This is Damian Perdue of Think Theory Radio, Saturdays at 6 p.m. You're listening to Hal Sparks' radio program, Mega Worldwide.
So Trump has declared Venezuelan airspace closed, which is not a thing, really. You can't declare another country's airspace closed. I suppose you can close it to American traffic if that's the theory. But I suppose it could be more dangerous. He could let. I mean, if he really wants to do some damage, he should put Sean Duffy in charge of their airspace. There's Johnny Million. Bring you back in. I'm bringing him back in, and there he is. Hi there, buddy. Hi. So. Trump has declared Venezuelan airspace closed.
Like you do.
Yeah. He said airlines should consider the airspace above and around Venezuela to be closed as his administration continues to threaten more aggressive steps against Maduro's government. U.S. forces have been massing in the region as Trump weighs military action that would go beyond U.S. strikes on boats, which, by the way, let's not put too fine a point on it or whatever, are war crimes and acts of murder. Like Pete Hegseth is just blatantly murdering people in a vain attempt to look tough, and these are extrajudicial killings.
Bad.
We have no way of knowing, verifying, who these people are, or whatever. And the first boat, apparently, there were two people that survived the initial strike. They were clinging to the remnants of the boat, and Hegseth ordered a second strike. And just drown them effectively. I mean, the dude is murdering people. Like the idea that we couldn't catch that boat in the first place is absurd and ridiculous. But the idea
So
that
he's
those
just
guys were going to get away.
raging all over the Venezuelans.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when a dry drunk can't sexually assault women at conventions to take the edge off. I mean,
I keep getting caught.
Yeah, exactly. There's like his whole, like, he just wound up, and also knows he's way over his head, is giving like broad, vague but direct, I suppose, orders that are just like wipe them out, that kind of like, barking orders kind of things with no nuance, which are leading, and guys are like, well, we got to do it, I guess. The president has declared these people terrorists, therefore, and the Congress has not stopped them. The courts have not said you can't prove the terrorists, right? So as far as we know, we're killing terrorists in the waters. That's what we got to do. So that keeps it from being an illegal order for the soldiers that are carrying it out, because they are hitting a legit target insofar as they know. So in recent days, Trump has hinted at potential U.S. operations on land in Venezuela. He's been talking about this in Venezuela, throughout Central America, and lately in Mexico. And I said last year that one of the biggest concerns that I have is them bombing Mexico, specifically, because this is something that side has wanted to do forever. If you don't believe me, go watch A Clear and Present Danger, a movie about this very thing. The Harrison Ford, spy thriller. Although he's sort of he's technically in the CIA or whatever, but he's like a State Department kind of a guy. He's like, but the idea is that he's doing, clandestine missile strikes. The only difference between this and that is that he's just overt about it. He's basically like calling the courts and Congress's bluff. So far, he's held back from doing it. Once he does, though, it opens up a whole can of worms, because by that declaration, and this is probably the thing that is maybe held it off up till now, and we'll see if it continues. But by that estimation, if he can just randomly declare a business of some sort to be terrorism, like drugs, which I think is a ridiculous, drug dealers will terrorize each other and they will try to scare law enforcement, but it's not terrorism. It's not political. It's like calling
it's compensatory.
Yes, exactly. It's like calling, what the mob did during Prohibition terrorism. I'm sure there was an element of it that could be loosely categorized it, and certainly post 9/11 you could use that phrase, but it clearly isn't. And you have no clarity about who these people are. Like when you're talking about like the idea that ISIS or something, you can track them coming from a camp. You can show them traveling. You've got drone footage of them all along, and they have a bomb specifically to blow up, not a product to sell that people don't have to buy, right? Which is very different. As a matter of fact, they have an impetus not to scare their audience and their biggest customer off. Specifically, that's the one thing that makes it not terrorism, is that technically they're trying to entice people to use their product. It is sales. But if Trump decides that he can declare them abjectly terrorists and kill them and strike within their country on land, not when they get outside in international waters or something like that, then there are a myriad of other countries that could use that logic towards us.
Yep.
And if they're saying, anybody we see as part of that process is a real target, you're basically unleashing a worldwide Hamas attack on the United States. You're asking for an October 7th in the United States, because you're effectively saying that like everybody in this other country is technically conscripted. Whoever I say is part of the armed forces is part of the armed forces in this terrorist organization, and therefore two can play at that game.
Yep.
So his post was on Truth Sinkhole: to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider, and then this next part is in all caps, the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. It's, it reminds me of that Martin Short joke, like Trump's, what was it, like Gary Busey's teeth are like a Trump Truth Social post, all caps.
Oh, man.
Right. So they have formally designated the Cartel del Solis as a foreign terrorist organization. Now, I really do have some questions, and I doubt they will be answerable by any sane metric. How you can declare any group that engages in intimidation of any sort to be terrorists, since there will be no distinction whatsoever. Like, what's the category? What's the line? And if you say there is none, then that means no one else is required to use a line with us, because we set the standard that, it is internationally, there is a golden rule that, treat others as you would like to be treated. And it's one of the reasons why we don't commit war crimes why we don't want our soldiers to do that, why Abu Ghraib was bad and we don't want to do that, because it says, okay, we're okay with this. So if you catch our guys, I guess have at it. You're allowed to do at least that, right? And you can push the envelope a little bit and see if we put up with it. That's why you do it. Even if you're, if you're stupid and think it will work, which it won't, you still go, all right, I'm setting this as the standard, and anybody else who captures our people can act like this. That should be reason enough for you to limit what you're going to do. And that's usually where, in times of, big conflict, what happens when you start talking it backwards. That's what, once it becomes an eye for an eye, once we go from the Christian to the Judeo in this regard, I guess, from the New Testament to the Old Testament. And, Old Testament's the kind of stuff Pete Hegseth throws around when he wants to sound tough, like eye for an eye. And that part of it, once you start going, okay, well, we took an eye, so I guess if you guys get one of our guys, you can take their eyes. Like, that's right. That's why you go, okay, actually, that's a pretty terrible idea, because we don't want that to happen to ours, so we won't do that to yours. That's how this stuff starts to unwind after the fact. It's not going to while Trump is president, because he and his people are too weak to admit that they're wrong or address this like with any compassion or empathy, which they have none. There is only one solution, kids. Vote blue no matter who. And I don't want to see any primaries. I don't want to hear about it. I will hammer this all the way through. The DNC has one job: turn red districts purple and purple districts blue. Nobody gets any points for making a blue district bluer. It's a waste of time. That vote will not change how the rest of the country is affected. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, SNAP, welfare, schools, all that kind of stuff, getting, infrastructure, all those kind of things. That vote is not going to change at all if you make a blue district bluer. Not at all. If you put Mamdani in AOC seat, vote will be the exact same. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So that, and the only time it wouldn't is if they don't vote with him. But we got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. This is the House Sparks Radio program, Mega Worldwide, now with 100% more Johnny Million.
That's me. I think Phil's at the Michigan game today.
Yes.
He's very excited about it. I saw some of his posts on Blue Sky.
Mm-hmm. That's good. He needs it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, chat room. Hi, guys.
When is the next Flapper show, Hal?
It will be, I think we're doing a special one the first week of January. I'm going to basically do 2 in January, I think. So the first Friday and the last Friday of January. That's how I'm going to do it.
You did not miss the nun joke. That will be the happy ending.
Yes.
Even though I
Not a
don't think
joke, by
it's
the
a
way.
joke. It's
Very
not.
serious. Funny, but serious. Yeah. Oh, yeah?
I've got an Arnold Palmer here.
Mm.
You know how much Trump likes him. So gross.
Thanks, Mega Shake.
Phil is in Michigan, being a Michiganer night.
Yeah, Michigander,
Michiganda.
which is good for the goose as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a score update at 6-3 Michigan. Thank you,
All
Bruce.
right.
Bruce. Biggest, thickest.
Here's a wife, you know. Name is Incontinentia. Incontinentia buttocks. Throw him to the floor. Get him out of here. Close this source thing. Excellent. Here we go.
I am referring to the dead golfer's penis.
Yes, you were. That's true.
Yeah.
I'll vouch for you. I don't like it, but I will. Let's see. The Yeah, I like. You know how? Well, okay. I'll address this when we come back. I want to save this.
60 seconds, guys.
Thank you.
You can do it, Al. You can hold out for 60 seconds. Oh my God. Jennifer just sent 50 House Parks gift memberships.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God.
I might get one at this point. Sometimes I catch some shrapnel and I become a member. And I get to see the short of you making fun of Trump say carrot. That's always like presented to me again and again.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I like it.
The screenshot of you is very charming. You look so amused. And his lovely wife, Carrot.
Uh-huh. Almost back.
10 seconds.
Uh-huh.
You're listening to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
I've had people walk out of me before, but not when I was being so charming.
Video streaming at halsparks.com.
I don't care for you or for the putrid sludge you're troweling out.
Puss-faced little pimp stick.
True progressive talk.
Might be a good time for you guys to give up.
So, I gave myself a little hair trim last week because it was.
I know.
Yeah, and it seems like it grew an inch, after I did it. Like it maybe just hung better or something like that.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Okay, Arnold Palmer.
All right, simmer down. But so I that analogy of like watching your hair grow when you're around it all the time, you don't notice, and other people bring it up like, wow, your hair's getting long, that kind of thing. I hear that a bunch. When you haven't seen somebody grow out. And I kind of went that way with Brain having like Trump's having basically gopher dung for brains. Like there was a glazed yet confused and angry dementia look in his eyes a month and a half ago or so when I was doing regular shows. And now I only get to do little drop-ins, little needle drops to catch up, because I got so much going on with the family stuff. And it's, you get some distance from it, and you do get a real more so, I think, even than other
Yeah.
people that are like, around it a lot, because it's like a frog in boiling water a little bit, maybe.
Well, what's
Used
funny
to it.
is that as Fox News itself, state media will run clips of like the debates that Trump had against Biden in 2024, and he looks effing amazing compared to how he looks now.
And he
I'm
was
like,
still
you
a
do
mess.
not want to, yeah.
Right.
And I was like, you do not want to show these clips.
Right.
The before and after is tragic.
Oh man. I will say one of the biggest things that really stands out. My mom
Your mom does stand out.
Yeah, she does. She's busy. My mom, like, we are a family of polymaths who are always on the go. And my mom sings and dances and performs at like old folks' homes with her little dancing and singing and Christmas troupe. And then around the holidays, they go and they sing carols to people who are in homes. Now, I think she's probably just hunting for a rich husband who's near the end, so you should put in a little work as possible. But she goes there and she sings and dances, and it's lovely and stuff. And I've gone with her to a few of these, and Camden's come with us as well. And there are some folks there that are wrapping it up. There's some folks that are going to be there for a few years, and they're doing the little stretching class and aqua aerobics and stuff like that. And then there's some largely dudes parked in chairs near a window, not doing a whole lot except looking off into the middle distance, slightly up and to the right. That's something that ain't there, or that was there in 1935 and it's back. And right there it is. I see it. And Trump increasingly has that look. He's got that look. He has that. What movie was that?
Yeah,
from?
he looks detached.
Yeah. This whole like, am I doing it right? Mixed with, huh? That's just always on his face now. Except
unless he is talking about a delusion, like him winning 38 golf tournaments.
Right. Yeah. When he gets, like when he's gacked up on Adderall and Ritalin and whatever their cocktail is these days. But that's such a narrow window, right? I said, and I'll admit when I was wrong, when I'm wrong. I said that by the spring there was going to be a 4-hour window where he could hold it together, and they were going to thread that needle very finely right around then. It's already happened. We're already there. And they're not even bothering to some degree. We are still in this bum rush to get him to sign all the pages of Project 2025 into pseudo law, make them executive orders, so that even if, if Vance has to take over, and he's got, he gets to ride this out, he won't have the political capital to get away with these things. The Congress, all the people who won his job, and all those other guys.
Yeah, they're going to look at him and be like, no, like, I've got way better ideas than this clown. I'm not going to support him.
Right. Like, there are a bunch of them that are lining up that are just,
and they don't think they're going to be able to control the cult, and they will not.
Yes. Right. But they know that Vance can't. The one thing they are right about is that they are really, like, seriously engaged in this kind of like functional denial, where they're like, okay, I might not be the winner here, but there in no way he's going to win, so therefore I have a duty and responsibility to beat him out of this job, because that's where that they already know the trend is going towards Democrats anyways, as it often does. I almost feel like the way people are talking about Trump is the way they were talking about Bush right after he won, based on the whole, you don't, change a horse midstream. That we're in wars, so you don't want to jump from one guy to another in the middle of a war. You need continuity. Why? Because a bad decision needs to be stacked on another bad decision. What? Like, that never made sense to me. Is it like, if you vote for the other guy, that means I did it wrong and the terrorists win? That kind of stuff. That's the mentality, Well, in this particular case, these guys are going to know that no matter what's going on, Vance is not the guy who's going to carry the day.
Yeah.
They know it. He doesn't. And Trump has a peculiar and very specific hold on the MAGA tree that is just now starting to really unravel, largely because he is unopposed. The other thing that's about this is people are like, he's getting away with everything. Well, A, no, he's not. And B, even when he's, getting a lot of what he wants, he's still not getting as far along as he'd want. And immigration is a great example of that. Immigration is a terrific example of they were going to do 1 million people on day one, buses and planes loading people up, and maggots ate it up all last year. That was the story. And while we knew he would do his best to meet those numbers, he was up against two things. One, there aren't that many illegals in the country. They just aren't. There's not 25 million people did not get into the country under Biden. They're not 35 million illegals in the country.
Yeah, I remember somebody interviewing a Trump supporter saying, "What does that look like?
Yeah.
1 million people at day one. What does that look like? Would that be expensive?"
Yeah. Well, the idea is that it's worth it no matter what the price is, right? That's where they're.
Yeah.
So, but there's I want to show this on stream because I want to see if I can. Yeah, let me go to the screen share thing here. And
while you're pulling that up, the call that you have at the bottom of the screen, is that through OBS or
no? It's on Restream. Yeah, sorry, is it wrong? Is it
no, it's great. I just want to do it because I've got the Pro Restream now.
Yes, it's in Restream. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I think I can bring this up on here. Yeah, this and we'll pop this up on here. So a little small we are. This is wrong. We'll do it over here. I like that better. We deserve better. All right. See,
I like these little things.
We were super tiny. But I want people to pay attention to in this image that you can see Trump's face. He's just signed this, I forget what he's the fostering the future thing that he signed, just like foster parent stuff, basically trying to make more babies, whatever, that kind of stuff. But he's got a giant signature and then a little one, or Melania signed it too or something. Just ridiculous. Anyways, look at his face in this picture. Huh? You what? You are the brute squad. There's a element of a vacancy, and there was, there's always been this thing about Trump where he's had when he gets awful, when E. Jean Carroll talks about what he was like, he gets doll's eyes. Like some psychopaths get doll's eyes. They their pupils get really big and they just get hyper fixated. Trump has that a lot now, and it's hard to tell if it's something he's snorting or it's his brain or whatever. But this is a consistent thing, and this is this. Yeah, this is November. This is November 13th.
Yeah, it was November 13th. That said,
yeah. This was recent, and you can tell there's just a vacancy. The lights are on, but nobody's home, and increasingly the lights are out, and no one is changing the bulbs, and they are. It's become so toddlerific where they are handing him stuff to sign and they all stand around and go, "Oh, dear leader, thank you for doing this thing." When it's clearly just donors and special interests within the Republican Party or MAGA-dom.
To see what we can squeeze out of this turnip before it dies.
Before it falls apart. And they know it. The more, watch for a quickening of those kind of things. And there has been in the last 3 months. They had a bunch in the beginning because they knew he was not long for this world. And now there has been a quickening as we get near the end of the year, because while he's been sundowning, clearly, he is also, there should be something called wintering, where over the course of the year, there's a big difference between December Trump and January Trump. And it's not the kind that recovers. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's the House Parks Radio program, Mega Worldwide, on WCPT Radio, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Someone in the chat, Carol Pack, Says in nursing, we call it a shroud face. Ugh.
Oh,
That sounds bad.
yeah, it does. Look at him though. See what I mean? Like this. It's this, and he looks like this all the time. And it's even
Oh yeah, and
weirder.
Eileen's right too. She said that the anger outbursts are a clue, like the way he said,
Yes.
What are you, stupid? You stupid for
Yeah.
asking that question?"
Right.
My current sponsor, his mom is going through all of this, and she just like explodes from out of nowhere for no reason,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and accuses the people
60 seconds.
Thank you.
that work at the hospital of stealing things that she's misplaced.
Right. Well, I mean, look at his true sinkhole posts are the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. And I think I know. Yeah. Come on, open up, you stupid, you big dummy. Grab this. We're almost there.
10 seconds.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
So I think I know why there's an acceleration in Trump's, brain turning into gopher droplets. Yeah. Road apple stew.
Sure.
And it's Epstein. It's 100% the stress
Okay. Yeah.
over the Epstein files and the growing war drums about that at the beginning of the year, him thinking he could dodge it, thinking he got out of it by making Pam Bondi release that ridiculous note about, nothing to see here, it's all done and nobody's to be charged, and he killed himself by it. And with nobody's signature on it because he couldn't get any of the people that were involved to sign the darn thing, right?
Right.
Because they didn't want their name on it. Bongholio, where's he been? Patel's just running around with his girlfriend trying to enjoy the perks before he gets fired. Pam Bondi is just flying. And well, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi have been flying all over the country, taking credit for what the local FBI agents have been doing and local state police, local and state police have been doing when they break up a drug ring or a human trafficking thing. They just fly down and go, it's our local partners in partnership with the FBI because they made one phone call to use the database. They borrowed VICAP for an afternoon and that's how they did it. And they're like just flying down there to like announce it as if they had any part in it and step all over the locals, which normally, by the way, if the locals weren't such maggots in a lot of these states, they would push back on. They'd go, hey, what are you doing? You're stealing valor from these cops that put themselves on the line to do this stuff, but they don't dare. It's all going to come out, though. That's the other thing. As soon as Trump's gone, oh, my God, the unraveling is going to be absurd. That said, Trump didn't age in his first term in many, because specifically because he lacks empathy. He's not. That's what grays your hair as president. Oh, my God, the decisions you have to make, and making any of them will gray your hair. And most people they look weathered, even if they started as sort of people who don't really give a crap, like George W. Bush. Even at the end of that, he was like, you could tell the decision-making process, being the decider, had an effect on him, right?
Yep.
Trump didn't. First term, just kind of skated through. Was just mad at the end, and off he went. And he was always kind of dumb. So, people just didn't recognize the difference. It just you got a bigger dish of it, bigger dish of Trump dumb. And Trump dumb. But there was a big turn when he got in office, largely by promising the Epstein files to a specific group of people who took him very seriously. And again, predicated their identity on it. Not his identity, not their identity as maggots supporting the guy who would do it, but themselves. They were crusaders. They were the people who were helping to get the Epstein files out. They were the people who were stopping the elite sex trafficking, Pizzagate kind of stuff. This, the billionaires and Democrats or whoever were doing this thing. They were a part of it. They were as much a part of it as him, all chosen by God as an army to protect the children. And Trump thought this was just like, oh, they're just giving me another job to do, and I'll pretend to do it like everything else. And
like everything else.
Right. But it wasn't, because these people, this was a matter of how he felt about him, or they felt about themselves, not how they felt about him. And it's a big difference. So, but then, so they really want him. They want the Epstein files. They must have them. And they have promised not only themselves and their family members, who they lost family and friends supporting the stuff, going after this guy. They threw themselves in front of the bus for Trump over and over again, with the promise that when it'll all be worth it. One day, Trump's going to get, he's going to oust the deep state and the big cabal, and it'll all be worth it. All of his history and his grabbing him by the junk and his proud pronouncements of sexual assault and castigating his own victims as too ugly to assault and all that, holding your nose and parking that in a part of your brain that you forget works. That's all over. The minute he finally breaks up the cabal, it will all be worth it. The price you had to pay in lost family and friends and all this stuff would be worth it. But it became abundantly clear, and then finally clear, with that letter from Pam Bondi, that was never going to happen, that Trump never wanted that to happen. Now, never mind the fact that, whatever happened to Epstein, whether he lived, died, escaped, was slaughtered, whatever, happened under Trump last time. And Trump had this kind of like, phew attitude his last year in office. Thank God I've got COVID and the dude's dead. I don't have to talk about this anymore. It's over. And even tried that a couple of months ago. What, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This creep? Nobody talks about him anymore, except every maggot online.
Yep.
So there's this article that came out about where today, I think is today. Yeah. Another trove. There's no way I would be able to get through it. Another batch of 21,000 unredacted emails and file attachments were revealed today. And part of it was that they, that apparently, like Epstein had a running file and followed what was happening with Trump all the time. And he purchased basically every major expose. He had like a catalog of articles and Page 6 stories and books. And I'm sure he read all of Michael Wolff's stuff. That's one of the reasons why Michael Wolff was writing a book about Epstein and why he had contact with him, it turns out, is because Epstein, had bought his book and was still mad at Trump over that real estate deal.
Yep.
But Trump is the single most mentioned individual in the batch of emails released earlier this month by the House Oversight Committee, with Epstein going so far as to coordinate his flights around Trump's. Raw Story has reported emails have also suggested that Trump may have spent hours with one of Epstein's victims at his home. This is Virginia Giuffre again, who said, that nothing had happened. And you could see a victim who's trying to get, justice for other victims might say, no, he's fine. We got to get all these other guys just to buy yourself some safety and some time, whether it was a lie or, not, So again, I don't buy it. I think she was lying to protect herself and her family, which you would do if one of the main people that victimized you was the president of the United States. Of course, you're going to say, oh, he was a perfect gentleman, unless you want to end up, thrown out of a black helicopter into some very deep, salty water. So, beyond Epstein's apparent obsession with Trump, new emails also revealed the disgraced financier purchased several books about child sexual abuse, including Lolita, which is not surprising, Stalking by Brian Boyd, and Insomniac Dreams, Experiments with Time. Other notable purchases include several books on narcissism, one book on Israel, Rise and Kill First, The Secret History of Israel's Targeted Assassinations. Epstein once called Trump his closest friend for 10 years, with Trump confirmed to have flown to Epstein on Epstein's private jet at least 7 times in the 1990s. By the way, we still do not have the numbers how many times Epstein flew on Trump's jet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to guess it's either even or more, because Trump was wise to what Epstein was doing and knew that it would eventually be dangerous to be caught in and around those things. So if he was going to go to his parties, he would show up, in his own car through his own entrance and leave later. He knew enough to pull his jacket collar up when he walked in the building, so in case anybody was taking pictures. And the same thing is true of flights. Same thing is true of flights. He knew it was bad to be on Epstein's plane. But Epstein being on his plane, if you got a private plane, you don't have to keep passenger logs.
Right.
As soon as the flight's over, you can throw them right out. Do you think they preserved Trump's passenger logs? Now, we know Epstein did, probably aware of the power it gave him over people. That if they ever tried to associate him with, or throw him under the bus, he could go, "Oh yeah, you were on my plane a bunch of times with some other fancy people that I also know who can get you in trouble." Trump, on the other hand, has never used email because there's always a copy somewhere. Same thing would be true of his flight logs. Trump did not keep flight logs because he was just didn't care about regulations or some nonsense. He didn't keep those flight logs because he didn't want people to find out who he was flying around with.
Sure.
And considering who he thinks is his best friend in the whole world, be it Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin, you can see what kind of scumbags he is comfortable with.
Yeah.
And who is comfortable with him. So these are, this new batch of emails that are, let's see if I can get this part of it open here. But Epstein would buy basically every Trump book that came out. It contains order confirmation emails from his Amazon Kindle for over 150 books and Audible. He bought the annotated Lolita, revised and updated by Nabokov.
Shut up.
Yeah, like his own notes in the margins wouldn't be enough. He bought the audiobook. Ew. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but I will claim. Hold on. I claim to be almost single-handedly responsible for the movie Lolita being moved from the romance section to drama on Apple TV.
That's probably a good move.
I bought the Kubrick box set, and like I was going through them, and I was going through like romance where I have movies like Roxanne and and When Harry Met Sally, and I would include Braveheart in there, although it's in action adventure and drama. I think you guys are like code, but Lolita,
it's also a documentary.
Yes, Lolita was in romance, and I was like, who is the maniac? And I posted about it on Twitter back in the day, and wouldn't you know it, the very next day, they had moved it to drama. Just like that book by Nabokov. So they I guess organized his stuff. Let me see if I can find the actual the emails, because I opened them up before. And we got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's the House Party Radio program, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Infotainmentwars.com will take you to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe or become a member and support us that way. Patreon.com/HouseSparks, etc., etc., etc.,
etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to open this one up because this one's going to be. Where is it? It's control. Make a new tab. Yeah,
All right, 60 seconds, gentlemen.
Thank you. Research and reference. Related articles. Okay, so you can only. I'm going to have to ask for access. Mm-hmm. Almost back.
Five seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now back to Hal Sparks on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT.
So the dumps that are coming. I have two.
I know.
Hello. That are. I'm of two minds about some of this stuff. In that there's clearly an active move to redact Trump's name and information from these things as much as possible, right? To get him, to hide what, where he's written and things. And I do believe that there are backups of photos and videos of him that anybody would have. Like, you would not ever have, if you had compromising photos of someone who was becoming the president of the United States, even running and becoming the head of the Republican Party at the time and becoming the front runner, even if it had lost, there's no way you would, if you had compromise on him and you were going to use it, or you were afraid they would kill you for it, that you would have one copy. If anything, especially in the world of digital, you would have a multitude of dead man switches that, unless I type this code in, every month, this stuff gets released, and only I know what the code is. And, it changes based on a detail, right? That occurs every month. So you can't even torture it out of me, right? I add something to it, and this algorithm picks out a number from, that happens every month. So that even if you wanted to, do it, you couldn't do it, right? These are some dangerous rich people who are comfortable doing some awful things. So the idea that you would just kind of trust that it's going to be okay, or have one physical copy of something, it's silly. It's absurd. They're clearly there, and they're clearly other people in possession of these things. And so the people that are standing around Trump, clapping like harbor seals, who are curiously getting everything they want right now, I would look to a few of those people as being, active participants in this dead man switch, or, in the files themselves, and looking to make sure that they never come to light. So, and I have no doubt that we will be able to go back through pictures of Trump signing from Project 2025 in the future, look back and go, oh yeah, there's that guy. Oh yeah, there's that couple, right?
Yeah, just do a Where's Waldo of the whole crew.
Totally. I mean, it's easy with people like Nutlick and others, because he bought his house, went from Epstein's trust and moved in next to him. I love that the people on the blase on Glenn Beck's network all think that Nutlick moved in first and then Epstein moved in next to him. And how do you know who's moving in next to you? And it's nope, sorry, got the syntax of that wrong. Or on purpose, no doubt.
Yeah.
I want to be the one to bring it up to them. There's some small media goals I have, Johnny Million.
Okay.
There's some things I would like to be the person to break certain things to other people.
Okay.
I'm going to walk up to them with a camera rolling and go, hey, real quick, just one thing. Epstein already lived in that house that he got for $1 from the guy from Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie and Finch. And Nutlick moved in later. He bought the house from the trust that Jeffrey Epstein owned. I'm just saying, Epstein was first, Nutlick second. Just let that sit in your mind for a little while. Bye. I want it because these are the tiny acorn that grows into the mighty oak. You know what I mean? This is the thing I've always said that there are certain people, especially if they pride themselves on not being stupid, at least in public, even if that includes them being stupid, like Glenn Beck, they still.
I would just never say that out loud. I am just so apt to be stupid.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I have a robust enough ego that well, here's the thing. I will claim to never be dumb.
Right.
But stupid, sure. Stupid is knowing, but doing something awful anyways.
Right. Or willfully ignorant.
Yeah. Knowing something's, a mistake or bad to do and you do it anyways. That's stupid. Dumb is you didn't know any better, right? That only works once, right? Nobody makes this. Yeah.
I forgot armed robbery was illegal.
Right. Exactly. So when it comes to like Glenn Beck and those guys, they like to think of themselves as thinkers. Let me tell you a little something about people who like to think of themselves as thinkers. Tucker Carlson's one of these folks. And they would love to hide certain details from themselves and stick to them, or they will focus on details that other people would rather you not think about, right? So they'll pick, that's how they attack our side of the aisles. They'll pick out stuff, blind spots that we have, things we won't discuss, or when like what happened in Minnesota with the Somalis and the fraud and all that kind of stuff, that where they're where Trump jumped on Walz's back and all this stuff. And partly why these people got away with it was because they were able to tell they would cry racism if anybody questioned them. And so this is where woke caused people to go broke. This is the idea that all this fraud was caused by the fact that people on our side of the aisle can't, have a blind spot to questioning people because we think it'll be racist to ask them too many questions. And so he'll use something like that, right? But that your brain, when it works with AB logic that way, it cannot, even if you pretend you're not doing it, you will ask yourself the same questions about blind spots you have. You just won't admit to it. And so what happens is that you bring up a lie like that, somebody like me can jump in and go, oh, I see. Well, that's terrible. They shouldn't have to feel racist for asking those questions. As a matter of fact, think of it as backlash insurance. You want to make sure that if there's a minority that's getting funding for a specific thing, we want to make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, so that everybody's, once people try to, attack it, because we know people that just want it to go away regardless of who gets it, much less Somalis or, or immigrants or asylum seekers, whatever it is, or DACA people, for example. You want every T crossed and every I dotted, so that when the Republicans try to destroy it, there's no ammo. We've done everything we can to make sure that we haven't weaponized anything on our own. So backlash insurance, that's all it is. We trust you. This is good, but we're going to make sure that when these people come across these files a couple of years from now, they won't be able to find holes in what we did and destroy the program or vilify every Somali in the country because of the actions of a few of them, right? That kind of thing. So I think it's pretty easy to not be racist. I don't know. Maybe it's just habit. It's pretty simple. Now it is. There is a commonality of sort of what they would call like leftist racism, which is the soft racism of soft bigotry of low expectations, or like, well, I don't want to appear racist, so I won't criticize this particular thing or what have you. And that is so demeaning and dehumanizing to whatever group you're talking about. That's why I don't get offended.
Yeah.
I've been insulted in my life because somebody will say something to me and I can be insulted by it. I can choose, but it's still my choice to be insulted or not, because I have to give validity to your words. Offended is very paternal and condescending, because it's like, they're not here, but I'll be offended. I'll be upset and insulted. I'll be insulted on their behalf. Right. Because if any of them were here, they would be very mad that you're saying this. You're like, okay, well, how about you just critique it for what it is? This is the same group that says problematic instead of racist, because saying something's racist is a very bold thing to say, but problematic lets you dance around the sides of it. I don't use the word problematic because I think there's a problem here. Right. Yeah, exactly. I feel like just, if it's bigotry, call it bigotry. If it's racism, call it racism. Don't be afraid. I don't know. I do know. You're a bigot. This is not a problem. It's the same reason why I don't believe in any of the phobias, really, homophobia, Islamophobia, any of those things, because I don't think people have pathological fears that are not their responsibility. I think they're jerks. I think they're bigots.
Yes. Yeah. It's
like
just
someone with a
it's just
phobia.
labeling.
Yeah. Well, and if somebody has a phobia, it's a mental illness they have no control over. So it would be ableist to criticize someone for being homophobic. Like that makes no sense to me. So why not just stick to racist, bigot, prejudice? If you want to soften it a little bit, you're prejudiced, you have prejudged, and you should rethink this. Whatever. Anyways, but when dealing with those things, I don't have a problem bringing that stuff up and having those conversations online because I know where I'm coming from and I know I mean well, and I know even if someone misconstrues what I'm saying, I can clarify it and I think they'll get it because I trust my fellow human beings. When it comes to the magotry online, especially the Tucker Carlsons of the world, wherever they have these big blind spots where if they start thinking about all the stuff Trump has done, the whole thing goes to hell.
How can they not?
Right. They could try not to, and they do, but there's always this kind of like haunting thing in the back of your mind, like I'm being stupid, right?
I sure as heck hope so.
Right. I would say, a lot of people go, no, they don't. Then none of them see it. It's all the same stuff, right? Like they always get mad and then they don't do anything. Well, I got to tell you, kids, that you used to be able to say that was true, but the poll that I explained to you at the beginning of the show today brings the lie to that idea. You have to understand that these are folks that once were full-bore Trumpies, and now a statistically significant number of them are leaving camp. They are packing up. They're not.
Yes,
they don't have anywhere to go yet. They don't have anywhere to go yet, right? But they're going. They're just wandering out. They're wandering out in the field, which, by the way, is sort of a tie-in to my happy ending story that I'm going to tell you about Johnny Million.
With the nuns.
I got to tell you, this is this little story. It's a little joyful, funny story that's just kind of terrific. And Rob says it's a cult. They either totally they either leave totally like MTG or stay until they die like the rest. There isn't a middle. There is a middle in that they're going to vote for the next Republican. That's the middle part of all this. Is that it won't matter if it's JD Vance, but once Trump is gone, MAGA goes with him. There will be some version of America First. There will be, they'll look for the next natural, person. The problem is the vast majority of the power players, and I find this wonderful. And I just want you to just stew on this till next week. I'm just going to leave this with you. The vast majority of these folks are looking for someone who's going to pick up the mantle of MAGA and carry it forward into the dawn, off into the horizon, riding around, on a horse, yelling freedom while waving, a MAGA hat, right? Here's the thing. Who is it? Okay. The only people that are lining up to do this are absolute dweebs like Ted Cruz and JD Vance. I mean, first order weenie men, just absolute geeks. No charisma, no riz, like weird kind of high-pitched, pinchy voices, like not.
Yeah, Ted Cruz being elected at all still mystifies me.
In Texas, especially. Texas, what again, can you guys explain yourself? I thought you were all like, I love Lone Wolf McQuade is one of my favorite movies. For God's sake, people, you just elect someone who at least seems to represent the myth you guys have for yourself. It seems like they're electing pieces of their failing electrical grid. Like, who best represents Texas? Flooded Christian camps and busted, power plants. Oh, that's Ted
Fair
Cruz
enough.
and nutshell, the guy who runs off at the first sign of trouble. Absolute dweebs. Then who else? in the case of like Elon Musk, people who can't be elected president of the United States without a constitutional amendment, bunch of foreigners, right? That's amazing. Okay. Then my favorite kind of bringing up the rear, no pun intended at all, honestly, are rich conservative gay billionaires like Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
Like that crowd. There's like 4 of them, that are like the Besant mafia, right?
Just self-loathing nincompoops.
Yeah. And oddly, but the problem is, even if they weren't self-loathing, they could be the proudest, most forward, like gay person is like, I don't believe in marriage. I hope it wrecks my marriage. I think these are government. I'm a libertarian at heart, and the government shouldn't be telling people what they're really, whatever it is. Like they can tell whatever lie works, right?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, like, the fact that that's like the in case of emergency break glass crowd that they get to draw from for this. Oh, it's so good. And what it means is they're all going to be praying for a rhino.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're all going to be like, oh, Thune, he's tall, right? He looks like, like somebody pulled on Clint Eastwood, like a Stretch Armstrong, right? Just, I got to tell you, and Democrats, all we got to do is don't do any backbiting.
Right.
That's it. It's not a lot. It's not heavy lifting.
That really is the only thing that could screw us.
That's right. And again, Democrats and lefties and whatever their label is, and not MAGA, not Rhino, not Republican. If you're any of those things, you're not those 3 things. You have a great time primarying people and going after the impure folks when we have 60% of the House and 60 votes in the Senate and the presidency. Then have at it. Feel free to nitpick all you want. But until we have the votes to even get the basic programs that we are trying to do, right? Yeah, the Trumpublicans, right? That was what Trump called them, the Trumpublicans. I call them Trumplicans because they sound like little, gnomes or evil elves. We'll be back right after this with a lovely happy ending that I can't wait to tell Johnny Million. It's the House Sparks Radio program, Mega Worldwide. Where is this? It's such a story. And I have to give total credit to my stepmom, Carol.
Oh, yay.
Because she asked me, like, is this AI or is this a true story? Yeah.
Kudos to her for asking the question.
Yes. Okay. So, and chat room, yeah, like if you guys know the story, don't tell Johnny. Thank you. Don't tell Johnny. Yeah, don't do it. Wait, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, my earbuds were suddenly like doing the little doop 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 doop, which is not good.
Oh, never good.
Never good. But I can switch if I don't hear anything. I'll just hum during.
I am happy, you are happy. Let us be happy together. Whether the weather is cloudy or sunny, I will always be your funny honey bunny. I am lucky, you are lucky. Let us get lucky together. Whether the weather is cloudy or breezy, I'll be there to say, hey, come on, let's take it easy. Because isn't it nice to have the friends that you do? And isn't it nice that the sky is so blue? And isn't it nice to say I love you? Chugga chugga choo choo. Woo woo. I am smiling, you are smiling. Let us smile together. Whether the weather is cloudy or stormy, I will still be there in the morning. I'll be right by your side in the morning. I'll make you breakfast in the morning. I hope that you like cereal.
Yeah. Okay. So good. It's so nice to have that again. Okay. So I don't know, Johnny Million, if you have heard the story of the 3 Austrian nuns in their 80s who fled the retirement home that they were in and went back to the convent they were from. I'm going to put this on screen. They broke out of their old folks home, ran away with the help of some old students that and were on social media going, I want to go back to my convent where but they had shuttered the convent because there weren't enough women becoming nuns. And so they were like, we just want to go back there and live out our days there. And so they ran away from the old folks home and they broke into the convent and that had been closed. And now the 3 rebel nuns are the abbot at the convent that oversaw it, told them to get out, was trying to kick them out and all this stuff, and they were basically holed up in there live streaming 80-year-old nuns, Sister Bernadette, Sister Rita, and Sister Regina. Some say Regina. They refused to return to their old folks' home where they said they were put against their will when the abbot closed it. The abbot finally gave up, but his conditions are they have to give up posting on social media. These 80-year-old nuns.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And
in your phone.
So yes, exactly. They fled from there, and where is this whole thing? Hold on. Okay. In Austria, 3 nuns, all in their 80s, recently ran away from a nursing home. They went into their former convent in defiance of church orders, determined to grow old on their terms. These sisters are now taking Instagram by storm, and they're being supported by a growing community. In the first 2 stories, they talk about So these ladies, there they are. I'm showing them on screen. This is Sister Rita, Regina, and Bernadette. And there's a great quote. I wish I could find it on here. That where they basically said, like, I just want to, I don't want to die in some old folks home. I want to walk off into a field and meet eternity that way. So basically, they just want to like wander out into the, into the field. The hills are alive with the sound of music, right? And one of the great granddaughter of one of the Von Trapps came and visited them. Celebrities have been coming there. People have been live streaming with them. But all 3 of them were basically like there was a standoff, like, Dog Day afternoon. It was like Nun Day afternoon, right? And so this week's show is dedicated to the 3 nuns, Rita, Bernadette, and Regina, who beat the abbot, who, by the way, has known them since he was a teenager. So I think one of the reasons why he wanted them put in an old folks home and wasn't letting them back in is he still got the bruises on his knuckles that they gave him. I like. So
other people helped them figure out how to live stream, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they were doing some, posting on Instagram from the old folks home. And then that's where they started getting fed up. That's what happens. The youngins, they start looking at all the influencers and think, I want to live like that too.
I want to do that.
That's right. And they don't know that all these influencers are all fake lips and everything and filler. And, you get all gross. You want to try it? Yeah. So Bernadette said, I think it's wonderful that Instagram brings people to us to praise God. Sure, they're curious to see us after all the press coverage, but what they see is our worship. But Bernadette is still reeling at what happened, and she climbs 4 flights of stairs. She says the chairlift was removed from the cloister not long after her own removal. She goes, I've been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and when I was discharged, I thought I was returning home to the convent, but the ambulance took me straight to a nursing home in my nightgown. I was shocked. That's when Sister Bernadette decided to rebel. And I think it was Sister Rita who said, like, I just want to wander off into the night. So or into eternity, into a field. So it's very sweet. We were just like piling through that story all morning with my stepmom because we were just laughing about the 2 of them, or the 3 of them rather, just like planning their escape and shimmying down a rope ladder made out of sheets or something like that. And
tying a bunch of habits together.
Right. Yeah. Just going down. It's just one big black sheet that they're going down the front of it. But it's like overall a very sweet, kind of funny Christmas story.
Yeah.
And the last I heard today, because they're live streaming regularly. I'll see if I can find their Instagram and post it, or maybe CSL or Andrea can find it while we're on. But we'll put it in the chat room or on the show later. But they live stream on Instagram and they post things on Instagram. And the last I heard, they were having a small little service, like a Thanksgiving kind of service, like a holiday service, for the beginning of the winter season and beginning of the Christmas season. And there was a Hollywood screenwriter who was there in the pews. That's what they were saying. Like,
yeah, there was
taking notes clearly. Yep. So my favorite and my favorite headline was Austria, rebel nuns reject church's offer in convent dispute. Yeah. Rebel octogenarian Austrian nuns win reprieve. Also another good one.
Okay.
So anyways, that was the story that I was holding up. So everybody feel free to dive into the story of Sister Bernadette, Sister Rita, and Sister Regina. And Johnny Million, you have a live stream after today's show.
I do. That's my happy ending. I'm going to try not to fall asleep mid live stream. We're going to see just how dopey I can play.
You may find a new niche. Everybody's looking for. Everybody else stays awake on their live stream for the most part, in general, I think. Give it. Maybe you don't know. Maybe that's what people will watch for the moment you fall asleep. Can they be there? They just go. Everybody
there. People doing
clang, right?
Yeah.
See if your guitar wakes you up when you right. That'd be the thing. I will be doing the show from here next weekend as well, although I am going back to Vegas and then coming back here for another service thing that we're doing. So you got one more show at in Kentucky from us, and then we'll see. We'll see what the foreseeable future is for where I will be over the next little bit. We have to do a big drive across country at some point with some things which are too big to fit in a car. But too small for a moving truck. Nope. A big upright bass is one of them.
Yay.
Yeah. That's been sitting here. That's been mine for a long time, but we didn't have a case for it. So it's just floating around. So, and I also, if I may, before we got about a minute left, I want to thank Devin and everybody at CPT for battening down the hatches and basically shuffling computers this morning live on the air. Bless them for we'll pick it up and on a holiday weekend. So thankful for you guys. Thankful for you, Johnny Million. So thankful for you guys in the chat and all of our members and patrons and all that stuff. I can't tell you how reassuring it has been that you guys have been there for, during this time. And I will start my show in earnest again on Monday. So I we'll have
so exciting. Everybody's going to be so thrilled to see you.
Yeah. I should only have Friday off next week because I'm going to red eye it. But it should be regular shows this week. So wish me luck. And thank you, Johnny Million. Love you, brother. And thank you, Chicago. And we'll see you next time. Yeah. Thanks, Chicago.
Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving
Absolutely.
To you.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Sprawl Thanksgiving. And then Johnny Million, I think, let's see. I'm going to check.
I got to get ready.
Yeah, you got to get ready.
I know that CSL and Andrea were trying to make it possible to raid my YouTube.
They do. Yeah.
So I've made it accessible. So we'll see what happens.
Yes. So yes on CSL, yes on that. And yeah, so I'll hang out for a second while you go get ready.
Just a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Get
I'll see you
out.
soon.
Bye.
Get out of here. Go. Bye.
See you later. Bye. Off he goes. And thank you, chat room. I'm going to bring you guys in and talk to you for 1 second. There we go. Bring this up. Excellent. You all get insurance. I rented one once it leaked. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. It's the stuff is it's too little for a truck for like that. So we're probably just going to rent. The idea is, and this is the theory right now. I'm trying to, it was funny that thought I was going to have to talk Summer into it, but I may, she's almost talked me into it, which is great, is we get a camper and drive across country in it, stop in a few places and like have a Kuiper or stop places where there's internet for me to do my show and for her to upload her videos, and then go to, come all the way to Kentucky and then turn around and head back. Make it a family trip. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. So I think we'll be up and running. Let me know when you guys watch, tell you when it's set up. Thank you, CSL. Appreciate it, brother. Very thankful for you as well. Thank you. And thankful for Andrea. Really appreciate you guys. Yeah, Sprinter van's a great idea. I agree. My cousins have one and they swear by it. So I was thinking one of the things we might do is we could probably borrow theirs and drive it out and back. Huh? That would work. So it sounds like it'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be a road trip and I'd take you guys with me. That would be I would only do it if I could actually do the actual, live streams as we would do it. The other thing I want to do at some point, I'm not quite sure when, and I'm trying to work out the internet part of it is, and this is just a thing. And when I do that, by the way, I will announce what city we're driving through next, and maybe I can have a coffee house meetup with people, that kind of thing. Cam is great. He's grown like a weed. It's great. Just, I love him. He's fantastic. But yeah, we don't want to live in a van down by the river, chat room. I'm just saying. But I want to do the train thing, but the internet is pretty inconsistent, which I find very sad. Like that of all things in this day and age, like you could open up such an amazing, like, because it takes time. You got to be on the train for a couple days, in some cases for long trips, Oh no, sorry, the crawl is wrong. Yeah, sorry about that. No, this is not a repeat. Here, I'll turn this off now. There you go. Whoops. Shoot. Where's this? Just turn this one off instead. Where's that? Hide. There you go. Yeah. So hi. Yes, I'm live. Anyways, we'll figure that out. But the train, like if they just had like high speed internet, which you could totally have, you can have it on an airplane. You can goddamn well have it on a train. I don't know why, honestly. If they did that, I think it would increase like long distance train travel by tenfold. When you can have like better, when you can have better internet on a Greyhound bus, it's pretty annoying. Yes. So, all right, how we doing? It's up. Is that thumbs up mean it's up? We're good. So we're rating Johnny Million on Twitch and on YouTube. Still waiting. Oh, still waiting, watching. Gotcha. Okay, we're still waiting. Still hanging out. These kids today that don't have their stream ready to go. I don't get it. Oh, by the way, this was the shirt I was showing Johnny Million earlier. This guy right here. This the Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. So hold on. I'm going to get a picture. I'll put it back on the wall when I'm done. So this is the Rabbit Hash General Store in Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. It burned down. Faulty wiring, what have you. And hold on, here, let me move this back over here. Hang it back up. There we go. Yeah. Put this back in there. Lose that. So sorry. One moment. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. So, my dad rebuilt the designed it, and the little known fact: the building itself, because it was an old building, was 3 degrees off axis. It had a 3-degree list, right? And so my from this part goes, what Hal just mentioned about the RV trip. Yes, do it. The online road trip internet has improved dramatically. Tell them to check out this website, mobile internet. Oh, fantastic. I will. Thank you. But my dad, when he had it rebuilt, when he did the design, he recreated the 3-degree tilt in the floor. So the floor is exactly the same as it was in the old original building. They used a lot of reclaimed wood and stuff. Like if you walk in there, you would think the place had been there for 100 years. It's lovely. Everybody there is super nice. There's a lot of, snacks and knickknacks and t-shirts because everybody wants to be there. The Rabbit Hash elects a new mayor every 2 years, and it's a dog. So they have a dog for a mayor, and they have a little paw print thing where you can shake hands with the mayor. And I'm not kidding. The mayor of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky is a dog. The store has old cane sugar sodas and stuff like that. And they've got a big wood burning stove in the center, and then a little a bench and a swing set, like a porch swing, but inside, right in front of the fire. And then in that room, people will sit around and play bluegrass, or there's also a side room where they'll sit around and do bluegrass. It's really awesome. So if you ever are in Northern Kentucky, you must go to Rabbit Hash, and you must tag me in a picture from it. That's all I ask. Because if you go to the Rabbit Hash General Store, my dad did the architectural plans on the remodel to rebuild it exactly as it was, only better. So it does have that 3-degree tilt, but it is supported so that it will not fall over. We're going to see a couple of other buildings when we drive into Cincinnati tonight that my dad did. If we can, I think we're going to go by the famous Old Time Music Company, which is the store my dad started in 1972, where he met a lot of the country artists and bluegrass friends that, came to visit him. Okay. Johnny's live. Excellent. Okay. Raid initiated. Be a few moments. Excellent. Good. Twitch raid delivered. Not seeing him available on YouTube. Rechecking. Okay. I'm going to hang out for a second. Is that okay with you guys? My mom should be here by now. She was driving down from Cleveland. Let's see. Hold on. I'll ask. Are you here? I think she is. I think I hear them. I hear, I think Lianga Nuren Shubaya. 2 women equals 500 ducks. It's an old Chinese saying. I hear them quacking upstairs. Is it traveling memorial? Yeah. No, I have to go back, but early in the morning, and I'll be in next week though. There's a chance I guess I could, hoof it up there and see him if you wanted to meet me halfway or something. But yes, come on up. Okay, my mom is here. Okay, be there in a moment. Okay, so let's see if we've got Johnny on YouTube. It's on. Hey, all right. Not seeing raid on YouTube yet in chat. It's on. Okay, good. All right. Love you guys. Oh, look at my thumbs up. Yeah, there you go. It's a good way to end, I think, as much as any other way. I adore you guys. I will see you later. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I'll see you Monday. I really will. With guests and everything, I think. I think that we should just try and act like everything's normal. Just for my mental health. Love you guys. Okay.